right, what's up, guys? So, what are some words that make us uncomfortable? Let's think about it. Moist. Phlegm. Ointment. Yeah, that's kind of nice. My favorite, curd. Curd. That's weird. Or slurp. Slurp. Anything with like weird consonant sounds. But faith. Faith is another one. For whatever reason, we get a little bit uncomfortable when people are talking about faith. We're like, okay, you can kind of keep that to yourself. It can be scary or offensive words sometimes, but I think sometimes we just overuse it or underuse it. We don't fully understand what it means, but my hope for you today is for me to give you a practical picture of what faith is and show you how to use it. Because I believe it's a crucial ingredient for life. You can't go through life without faith. In fact, here's a quote from Steve Jobs. He said this: "Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick, so don't lose faith." So faith is one of those things that keeps us going. And believe me, if life has not hit you in the head with a brick yet, it's going to happen. So, like we mentioned before, we're talking about the F's that you want. You know, some of these F's that you get in school, they will get you grounded. But hopefully the F's that we're talking about are going to keep you grounded. I worked on that line for like 10 minutes. Didn't really work, but it's okay. But today we're talking about faith. So let's go ahead and start. What's the definition of faith? You kind of have this nebulous idea of what is faith. But many different religions are represented in this very room right now. Many people who would call themselves religious. And there's some other people who don't call themselves religious, or maybe even anti-religious. But I would say that all of you actually still have faith. All of us still use faith. How many of you drove or rode in a car this morning? How many of you sat in a chair today? That is all of you guys. Yeah, except for you guys in the back. Sorry, there's not enough chairs. When you're driving a car, when you turn the key, it's not like this magic thing that happens that turns the key on, or turns the car on. There's actually a series of like little tiny explosions that happen, and a lot of things that happen to make your car go. And every time you turn that key, in faith, you're hoping that all of those things will work. And you trust that your car will not explode when you turn the key, unless you're in the mafia. None of you guys, when you walked into this room, examined your chairs. I didn't see a single person go, yeah, this looks good. Then you sat down. You just sat down. You are trusting that it can bear your weight. You're trusting that it's not broken. You're trusting that it's not going to fall apart. You just trusted it. In fact, none of you guys even looked underneath to see if there was a hidden prize. So if you look down right now, does your chair have a prize underneath? Who's got it? Who's got it? I'm just kidding, I didn't do that. That would have been cool though. That would have been cool. But that's a simple picture of what faith is. I think some of you guys are far too trusting of me. And I'm sorry that I pulled the rug out from under you. But let's go to the ancient Greeks. The ancient Greeks knew a lot of stuff. Here's how they defined the word faith. The ancient Greek word is pronounced pistis. Yeah, you can laugh all you want at that. It's another word that might make you feel uncomfortable. But it means basically to rely on something. So you're relying on that chair right now. You're relying on your car when you drove here. That's kind of the simple definition of what faith is. It's proof of things unseen. So you are putting into action what you hold deep down in your belief system. So faith is something so small, like riding in a car, but it also can be something so big. So your belief system in life hopefully will affect your actions, because that's what faith is. It's putting your beliefs into action. It's the key to directing your entire life. Faith is not a feeling, because feelings come and go. Faith is not just blind hope that like you're just throwing a penny into a wishing well hoping that your wish will come true. That's not what faith is. Faith is putting your beliefs into action. So if you believe it, you'll act on it. Like I mentioned before, everybody in this room has some kind of faith. Some of you guys might be religious, some of you guys might not be. But if you believe in your religion, you're probably going to act on the things that the teachers of your religion teach on, or the texts of your religion teach. If you believe in the goodness of humanity, you're probably going to do good things for other people. If you believe in ghosts, you're probably going to watch ghost hunters and do weird stuff. I'm just kidding. I don't want to offend you if you're a ghost believer. But all faiths have stuff in common, even if there's a lot of differences. There are major differences between all of these, but yet they still use faith. So true faith always results in action. Always, always results in action. So let's talk about those results. So we know what faith is, but how can we use faith in our lives? You know, there was actually a 2013 study in the Journalism of Experimental Social Psychology that showed the power of faith. So faith can strengthen you. The study showed this, that prayer can actually counteract mental fatigue since it's an act of self-control. So faith is like a muscle that we have to train. It's just like anything else. It takes time, it takes commitment, and over time your faith grows and grows. You know, this is something that athletes understand. You don't just wake up one day and become LeBron James. I mean, none of us are probably going to become that great. Maybe one day. No, you're not. But through practice, you can become great. It's no different from faith. You know, somebody who runs, they know that the distance, they can't just run 10 miles right away. It's something that you have to work up to. In fact, I have this running app on my phone, and I kind of suck at running, but like I've been able to run further and further because of just being consistent with the app. It's a lot harder when it's like 110 degrees outside, so I have not been doing that good lately. And you guys can probably relate to that. But it's just something that a lot of you guys understand. So being in the weight room, that's really hard to say. Doing yoga, anything that just takes time for you to develop is something that strengthens you. So in the same way, faith can strengthen you. So I want to encourage you to remind yourself of your purpose and your blessings. That gives you strength. Those are the things that give you strength. So how to exercise your faith is just remembering these things, reminding yourself of your purpose, taking time throughout the day to refocus. That is using faith. All right, there's another way that faith can help us. Faith can restore you. So not only does faith strengthen you, it also restores you. According to a 2014 Pew Research Center survey, about 55% of people pray daily. People said that half of the people in the world pray. I believe it goes up to 100% if you're going down in a plane. Pretty sure. I'm just kidding, I made that up. But that's probably true. Like anytime you're facing any turbulence or anything, like you're like, okay, I'm just gonna give this a last shot. I don't believe in you, but please, if you're up there, Superman, please save me. Yeah. So tons of people find rest and restoration through prayer. And actually there's a 2009 Harvard study that shows that when you pray, it actually activates disease-fighting genes inside of your body. But this is something that can actually be measured. The people who took time to pray, to be reflective, their body actually was restored or healed faster. And so that's something that you guys can use, because I'm sure a lot of you guys experience stress, anxiety. I know that it's only the first week of school, but you probably have experienced at least a little bit. By the end of the semester, you're probably going to experience a lot more. But you're anxious because you're going in overdrive. Your brain is just going way too fast. There are too many things going on. To take time to stop, to rest, and to reflect can really do a lot for your body. So faith helps us do that. It can strengthen you, it restores you, and then lastly, it inspires you. Faith can inspire you to do amazing things. Entire lives, the trajectory of your life can be changed because of what one person says. Isn't that crazy? Like one teacher that you have could just say something that sparks something that ignites your faith. So listen to the key leaders in your faith. They will likely inspire you to do something. You know, you can dedicate your life to serving in a third world country. You could foster the state of Arizona is in desperate need of people to grow up to do foster care. In fact, my wife and I, we went through the foster process. And right as we were about to do like the last session, we actually found out that we were pregnant with our daughter. And so we put that on hold a little bit, but our hope is to go back and finish our certificate because there are so many kids in our state that just don't have homes. And so there are a lot of things that we can do around the world and locally that exercises our faith. And we can be inspired to inspire others. So listen and explore the different aspects of your faith. Explore where your faith leads you. Don't just keep it to yourself. Faith is kind of like a sponge. Like if you're just taking it all in, if you're just soaking everything up but never using it, the sponge is going to get very gross. And it's not going to be very useful anymore. So unless you are wringing it out, unless you are using it regularly, eventually you're just going to throw it away. So I would encourage you to use your faith. Plant your faith and watch it grow. Find something sturdy in your life. Find something greater than you that is steadfast, that is true, to put your faith in. Don't put your faith in fads, in temporary pleasures, in things that don't last. These are like houses built on the sand. I would encourage you to build your house on the rock. Everything else eventually sinks. And this world is going to throw crazy things your way. So if your house is built on the rock, waves of life can hit it, but you will stand firm. Because you can't control the crazy things that happen to you, but you can control how you respond in faith. Peace out.